In this episode of Backroad Reporter, we're off to Gulf Coast LiveStock Auction in Alice, Texas. There, owner Eddie Garcia and his father Esteban will show us the passion and all the hard work that goes into making his sale yard such a success.
This is probably the most important aspect of the sale as well, because this is where the cattle are weighed.
I'm Annie Studebaker, and I bring to you an abundance of knowledge from our South Texas rural communities. Follow me as I take you on a journey of inspiration and insight that will offer a deeper connection with people and businesses. I've never seen so much livestock in my life. Before the auction begins, buyers carefully inspect and choose which cattle they're going to bid on.
My name is Eddie Garcia. My father and I own Gulf Coast LiveStock Auction here in Alice, Texas. I got into the business about 20 years ago. I started buying cattle for my father. We were buying cattle at the local auction barns, and that's how I got into the business. I'm a sixth generation rancher, so I've known nothing but cattle pretty much all my life, and that's kind of the path that led me to this point. What goes into setting up a sale barn, there's a lot of P&S regulations, which is called Packers and Stockyards. They're the government organization that regulates us. So in order, you have to be bonded, you have to be insured, you have to have your proper insurances in place. So there's many factors that go into it. We bought Gulf Coast LiveStock Auction last May. May 5th was our first sale. Oh, I love it. It's in my blood and it's in my heart. It's my passion. It's everything I've always wanted to do. What I didn't realize is that my whole youth, my whole bringing up led me to this point. My first job was here in the alley, here at this very same sale barn. And just knowing that I've come full circle. What I love about the business is the relationships that you establish with the producers. That's probably the best part. The process of receiving cattle for the sale usually begins on Saturday, where we start to receive cattle. We have 2 people that are on premises at all times. The consignor will bring in their cattle. They are numbered in numerical order with some back tag numbers, and that's written on a corresponding sheet of paper on what's called a check-in. That check-in is relayed to the office, where our office help puts it into the computer. And then once the animal goes through the ring and is weighed, the lady up sitting next to the auctioneer writes the name, writes the person who bought it, the price, and then the weight comes out by the weigher. They stamp it. That ticket goes back to the office, which is already corresponding to the person that brought it in, and that cuts them their check. That's how their check is developed. All cattle are auctioned off, regardless of whether their condition or their body type. There is a buyer for pretty much for every animal that goes through here. If we do find the occasion that somebody does not want to purchase the livestock, the company, which is the sale barn, will purchase the animal at a set price, in which I will call the owner back and tell them, look, I couldn't get your calf sold, but the company has purchased it. Would you like to take it back, or would you like to settle on the purchase price that I've set for it? We start, the kind of livestock that we sell here at Gulf Coast LiveStock Auction, we start with the horses, goats, sheep, donkeys, bulls, cows, calves, pretty much all cattle in general.
Okay, we're actually here where the cattle come. I'm not actually a cow, but I kind of know how they feel right now. This is kind of closed in, but this is interesting. Tell me what happens here.
Yeah, this is the ring. This is where the essence of the market actually takes place. You know, there's a lot of different aspects of the sale barn, but this is where it all comes down to. Because with your producers, you know, they want good customer service, they want to be attended to, they want everything to be good, they want a cleanliness of the sale barn. But at the end of the day, the cattle have to bring what they expect the cattle to bring, because it's about the money and about what kind of price they're going to get for their cattle. So right here, what we have right here is 2 doors, and the cattle come through those doors. The larger cattle through the bigger door, and the smaller cattle through this smaller door, which are operated by these 2 levers. I stand right there behind the deal to start the price. All my buyers are sitting up in the deal. They have 5 to 10 seconds to judge the animal before I give the auctioneer the designated price, and he starts the price upon that time.
14 and a half. 1450, 1500, 15 and a half, 16 and a half, 1650, 1700, 17 and a half, 50, 1750,
And we have a man working the middle gate. We keep the cattle here until we get a starting bid. Once it's sold, it's moved on to the next section. This gate closes. That gate closes there. And it's on to the next section.
So one of them stands here. Boy, if I am any shorter, I won't be able to see anything.
Yes.
And then he's the one that opens this?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, he
Oh,
opens
that's
it again.
soft. I can handle that. Did
Yes.
you give me a job?
Yes, ma'am, anytime. You'd be good for the buyers here.
Oh, but I couldn't push that. Anyhow. Interesting.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Then the cattle come out. The cattle will follow this path here. They stay in this little staging area right here until the next calf comes through. This gate.
Oh, this is the exit door.
Yes, exit door. I have another man that opens this gate. The cattle come through this little staging area. One more little spot before. Once the other calf has left the scale, the calf will come onto here, stand on the scale, be weighed by my weigher that's looking through that window right there.
Oh,
Once she gets the weight on the calf, she'll give the sign that the calf is ready to be let out. That gate opens and that calf is put into a pen by my pen collar. After the sale, all the cattle are checked. They all have back tags, numerical back tags, and on the paper. So you go back looking for Route 36, tag number 344. It'll have the pen number in pen, the designated pen. My guy goes and checks it. Once it's checked, the animal is ready to be loaded.
Awesome. So
Yes,
this
ma'am.
actually works, huh?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it's a federally inspected scale. We get it tested probably once every 3 months by P&S.
Wow, I sure hope that's not on. I don't want anybody to know my weight.
No, and by the Texas Animal, by packers and stockyards, and then also by the agricultural department. They'll come out here with these big weights and place weights all over to make sure, because this is probably the most important aspect of the sale as well, because this is where the cattle are weighed. So it's the price that's going to determine.
You know how much it's going to bring in.
For my commission and for the buyers, bottom line. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. The way the sale barn makes their money, all sale barns pretty much in the state of Texas, or at least South Texas, charge 4% of the gross. So we charge 4% commission of the gross. So if an animal brings $1,000, we get $40 of that. The cattle are inspected when they arrive at the sale barn, first by my employees for any defects or anything that may be, cripples or bad eyes or things that might affect the sale price. And we also have Texas Animal Health Commission on site to check for ticks, to check for various cattle diseases that my employees may not see, but trained professionals will. Here at Gulf Coast LiveStock Auction, we do provide the service of bringing in cattle for people who need help with transportation of their cattle, and we do deliver cattle to various ranches and to various businesses. Because anything, whatever it takes to get the cattle here, it's part of our customer service program. Whatever help they need to get the cattle here, whatever helps them to be delivered, is all part of the buying process here at the sale barn. So we want to help facilitate, everything in that aspect.
Stay tuned as we learn more about the exciting world of livestock auctions.
For too many parents, a baby's first steps aren't just a milestone, they're a miracle. A miracle made possible by volunteers like you, who walk and raise money in March for Babies. The money you raise funds research and local programs that help babies overcome the challenges of premature birth and birth defects. Together, our steps make stronger, healthier babies a reality for thousands of families. Sign up today to take the steps that help make milestones and even miracles possible. Who will you march for?
Hi, my name is Adriana Garza from Hook, Strings, and Triggers. Today we're at Johnny's True Value and we're going to talk about basic gun safety. While on the range or while hunting, you want to make sure that you are always using proper eye and ear protection, as followed. Proper earmuffs and or eyeglasses. This way you protect yourself from any debris and loud noises while shooting at the range. While hunting or on the range, you want to make sure and always carry your firearm in the proper position, as followed. When you're holding a shotgun, you want to make sure that you are always pointing in the safe direction. Your finger is always off the trigger. As you're walking, you would want to carry in the shotgun ready stance, which is hand on the handle and your other hand on the arm guard. Another stance you can practice is the elbow carry. As you're walking in the brush, you want to make sure that you always keep your finger off the trigger and the muzzle is firmly in the nook of your elbow. Always make sure there is no one in front of the muzzle as you're walking in the brush. These are some basic gun safety rules to help you keep safe while handling the firearm. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the outdoors.
This public service announcement has been brought to you by VTX.
The main reason people purchase cattle here at Gulf Coast LiveStock Auction is to go into human consumption. A lot of the cattle here, 80% of the cattle, I'm gonna say, go to local feedlots. They go to local slaughterhouses to be processed into hamburger. Most of the yearling cattle and the calves are taken either to grass pastures and then onto a feedlot, where those are, and then onto Sam Cane, where those are the steaks that we get, like as ribeyes and T-bones and stuff. And the other percentage of the cattle are bought by local ranchers, repopulating their herds, and by different entities looking to supply themselves with cattle.
That's right, they even have a restaurant right next door. So this is your restaurant?
Yes, ma'am, it sure is.
Let's do it.
Thank you so much. The restaurant adds another awesome feature to the sale as far as it brings a lot of people in. They're open 6 days a week, and it's just, restaurant's been here for a long time. I own the restaurant, but I lease it out to AJ's Cafe, to my tenants. And they make really good tacos. It's a really good place for people to come get a cup of coffee. It's kind of a social gathering, kind of like the way the Sale Barn is for the older generation stuff. But you can come here at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and the people are already in here drinking their coffee, getting their day started. So it's a good place for me to meet a lot of people. It's a good place for me to mingle. I spend a lot of money in here as far as all the dinners and the breakfasts and the lunches that I buy, especially for my buyers and for the general public included. It's one of my ways to say thank you. I think when you can break bread and sit down with somebody at a table, I think that goes a long way, just to look at the person, get an idea of where they're coming from and what they want to do, especially in their operations and in their cow herd.
It's a good thing you have somewhere for us to go during a break or just to get a cup of coffee. This is good. I'm going to have to try your tacos.
For sure.
Definitely. So wonderful.
Coffee should be coming in a minute now.
All right, awesome. Just what I needed.
Can't beat it, huh?
Wow, look nice.
Yes, ma'am.
Very organized. I like it.
Yes, and we like to feed the cattle a good amount of hay. You don't want to get the cattle too full, but you don't want to have them too thin, because the buyers don't like them too full because they don't want to buy a lot of hay that's in the belly. And a lot of times the sellers don't want them too thin because you're selling by the weight. So you want it to be, but you have to have it equal. It has to be a balance there.
Huh, interesting.
Yes, ma'am. So we have bulls from various sizes, from medium frame to quite larger frame. Bulls of all breed. And looking at your bullpen kind of gives you a sense of what's out there, what the producers are breeding. So you want your quality of bulls hopefully to be good out in the country, because it's going to produce you better quality calves. So there's different reasons that they bring them in. Maybe their disposition, maybe they're jumping into other pastures and stuff like that. So every bull that comes here has a bit of a story, but all in all, they're good slaughter bulls.
Okay, so how is this for a cow? Moo.
Yes, I'm very fortunate to have such a good staff. That was one of the easiest things transitioning into the Sale Barn aspect, especially for me, in that they were here already 8 to 10 years before I took over. So me being a buyer here for that long, I knew them already, so it made that transition really easy. And they have been intricate in our success here. We have the Bogan family. My head secretary, Mrs. Kelsey Bogan, her father's here, her mother is my way, her brother works here. So they kind of bring, a lot of people know them, so they kind of bring that hometown atmosphere to my Sale Barn, which I really like. And they've been very instrumental in showing me and giving me guidance and advice in all aspects of the Sale Barn business. And then my cowboys here in the back, what I've really tried to do here in the back is try to hire somebody that's very cattle oriented,
that knows how to work cattle, because cattle are very hard to work sometimes if you don't know how to work them, or they can be very easy to work. So I try to hire people that have been in the cattle business, that look the part and that are very engaging. We're really, really big on customer service, being very genuine to the customers. I have all the phones transferred, all the calls that come to the sale barn are transferred over to my phone after business hours.
That's dedication.
Yes, and letting them know they're not just a tag number here, but they're actually somebody, and they mean a lot to our business. So calling them, interacting with them. My favorite part of the whole auction process is receiving the cattle. When the people come in on Monday afternoons or Saturdays and Sundays, I love to be there to receive the cattle, give them a handshake, and really talk about their cattle, give them kind of an idea of what they might bring at market, and just how they can maybe instill more quality to their herd, or what little tweaks they can do to bring more money into their herd, you know what I mean?
Charlie Solis is the auctioneer here at Gulf Coast LiveStock Auction. He gave me a better understanding of the auction process.
My name is Charlie Solis. I'm the livestock auctioneer here at Gulf Coast LiveStock Auction. I have been a livestock auctioneer for 3 years. In 2004, I attended the Texas Auction Academy in Fort Worth, Texas. At the time, I was in real estate and my broker was an auctioneer, and summer was coming around, so I decided a good summer vacation for myself would be to go to auction school, so that's what I did. And when I came back, I really didn't apply my license anywhere until 2013, when I started working for a sale barn down in South Texas.
85, 90, 95, 100, 105, 110, 110.
My responsibilities as an auctioneer is to sell the cattle and take bids from the buyers and try to get the most money for each animal for our sellers. Before I attended the academy, the auction academy, they sent me a CD and a booklet, and I kind of taught myself how to do the auction chant before I got there. So I would practice the tongue twisters, and they told me that would train my tongue and my mouth to move in a manner where I can talk faster. And one of the tongue twisters that helped me out the most, and I'll perform it for you, is Betty bought some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. So she bought a better butter, put it in her bitter batter, made her bitter batter better, so it's better. Betty bought a better butter. Once we get going through the sale, I kind of know who's going to be bidding on what, so that helps out a lot. When that calf comes out, you more or less know who's going to buy it and at what price. You get a good handle on it. 1700.
I never would have thought that so much work went into preparing the cattle for auction.
My name is Mike Brzezowski. I'm from Gonzales, Texas. I'm a livestock order buyer, representing some companies from that area, and that's kind of what I've been doing. What order buyers, there's several of them. There's probably 8 or 10 of them representing different cattle companies throughout the Texas and the Central Texas. Order buyers consist of orders that they has a cattle company that has different classes of cattle that they're trying to put together for orders that they have throughout the Texas, and they're all different, and so we're just representing those companies that buy cattle in different classes of cattle that's going back to their cattle company, where they put loads together to ship to feedlots and other stocker yearling buyers. I'm just one of probably 10 people that come down here that represent different orders. Some people just come represent their own company. Like me, I'm probably representing 4 or 5 different order buying companies. Some are smaller that add up and like say purchase cattle for them in different classes, different weight, different sizes, different breeds of cattle. So this way, most of the time, you got orders on most everything that comes through the ring.
Don't go anywhere. When we return, Eddie will tell us about his passion for the cattle business and how he became the owner of this sale yard.
VTX1 is now offering gigabit internet with speeds 200 times faster than your basic internet connection. You can now browse the web at lightning speeds, download pictures, music, data, or stream your favorite shows and movies in ultra-high definition instantly. Take advantage of the blazing fast upload and download speeds of gigabit internet in the workplace. Have multiple computers with multiple users and no slowdown in performance. Say goodbye to buffering and hello to VTX1 gig internet. VTX1, the next level of broadband. Call 1-800-446-2031 and get started.
I've won Olympic gold medals. But this is a race I really want to win.
10 people in America drown every day.
It's the race to save lives.
1 in 5 kids are younger than me.
Growing up, my mom was afraid of the water, something she did not want me to feel.
So I enrolled Missy in swim lessons.
Swimming became my passion. It changed my life. And now you can do the same for someone that you love. Drowning is preventable. Did you know that swim lessons reduce the risk by 88%? Visit usaswimmingfoundation.org to find, get, or give a swim lesson.
There's nothing more precious than your child's well-being.
So act now before it's too late.
Make us fly!
I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Mom. The USA Swimming Foundation. Saving lives and building champions.
You already know VTX1 offers the best in television entertainment, but did you know that we offer the best box office hits? Upgrade to Showtime and experience the latest and greatest Hollywood movies and series you can't find anywhere else, like Billions and Homeland, World Championship Boxing, and Mixed Martial Arts. Get 10 great channels and 4 high-definition channels, all for only $17 a month. Showtime on VTX1, innovating since 1952. Call 1-800-446-2031 to upgrade today.
One thing that stands out in Gulf Coast Livestock Auction is the sense of teamwork. The people here welcome you with open arms and a smile. It's more than a business, it's family.
A lot of people have asked me how I came to buy the sale barn. And I was a cattle buyer for about 10 years. And every day, every Tuesday, I would come a little bit earlier to eat breakfast with the previous owner, Mr. David Shelton. And we would sit in the corner table and we would talk about sale barn. I'd tell him how much I wanted to own a sale barn one day. It would be my life's dream. And over the course of about all of those years of having breakfast, one day he asked me, Eddie, would you be interested in buying the sale barn? I said, well, that'd be fantastic. I mean, that'd be a dream of mine. Well, during that time, I was a sales manager at RY Livestock, and Mr. Shelton would keep telling me, Eddie, just keep practicing, keep practicing. I was like, what do you mean keep practicing? He would tell me, keep practicing. So every 3 months, I would ask him, Shelton, are you still interested in selling the sale barn? And he'd kind of put me to the side, and I kind of thought, well, maybe it was just in speak. And then last April, he said, Eddie, are you ready? I'm ready to sell you the sale barn. And so we made the deal right there at the corner booth. We made the whole deal, the parameters. After that, we went and had a beer at Chentes and got everything finalized and guaranteed. And from then on, it was a process of getting everything together. And next thing you know, I'm the sale barn owner. He never offered it to anybody else. He never put it out on the open market or anything. And I asked him why he did that. He says, Eddie, I don't think there's another person good enough to run the sale barn like you are. So I will forever be indebted to him for giving me that opportunity to live my life's dream.
I'd like to personally thank Eddie Garcia and his father Esteban for allowing us to document and share with our viewers all there is to know about livestock sale yards. From the arrival of the cattle to the auction itself, I've learned quite a bit about how they operate. We hope you enjoyed the show. I'll leave you with a poem by none other than Eddie Garcia himself. Thank you for watching.
Throughout my career in the cattle business, I don't know how many like cowboy poetry, but I've come to write a few poems that kind of describe how my passion is for the cattle business. I would like to share one with you called Bury Me. When I die, you can bury me out in the pasture, but don't put any fences around my grave. Let the cattle graze around my headstone as they may. Let their manure fertilize my lot, just as they have done throughout my life. These are the burial instructions that I've given to my wife. Plant a few mesquite trees so they will have a little shade. That way in the afternoon they will gather all around me and I will have it made. Let their calves run around my headstone. Let their mothers lick it with curiosity. Cattle have been the only thing I've ever known. They have brought me great peace and prosperity. I've sent many a cow to her death. Now I lie here in mine. It was always with much respect that I sent them down the line. But now my body may fertilize the grass that they eat, and my soul can finally rest now that my life is complete. For I will forever spend eternity right where I want to be, out in the pasture with all my cows around me. Thank you.